This is not a song. It is a record. They were marched in chains from the inland to the sea. Most never reached the water. We tell it plainly, so it is not forgotten.
They were taken from their villages. They were tied at the neck and the wrist. They were made to walk toward the coast. Many of them did not ride.
300 miles
of blood and tears.
300 miles in iron and rope.
They walked for weeks.
They walked for months.
The trail was lined with the ones who failed.
It began before the morning light, when the raiding parties came. Villages were burned so the people could not return to them. The strong were chosen first. The ones who fought back were killed in front of the rest. They were marched out in lines and sold from one trader to the next. A captured person could be exchanged for cloth, for iron bars, for guns, for rum. The line of the chain was called a coffle. It moved only as fast as the weakest body in it. Forked branches were cut and locked around the neck. One captive tied behind another. Iron rings closed on the ankles, joined by chains that cut the skin with every step. Hands were bound so no one could lift food to their own mouth without permission. They were marched from the interior of Yoruba land, of Igbo land, of the Hausa north, of Asante, of Congo. Some walked from places that lay hundreds of miles from any sea they had ever heard of. The march could last weeks, for some it lasted months across forest, river, and open plain. They were given little water, the food was thin and given only to keep them alive enough to sell. Dysentery moved down the line and did not stop. Sores from the irons turned to wounds that did not close. A child who could not keep pace was carried until the mother had no strength to carry. Then the line did not wait. The line never waited for anyone.
They were taken from their villages. They were tied at the neck and the wrist. They were made to walk toward the coast. Many of them did not arrive. 300 miles of blood and tears. 300 miles in iron and rope. They walked for weeks. They walked for months. The trail was lined with the ones who failed.
When a person collapsed and could not rise, they were beaten where they lay. When the beating did not raise them, they were left on the path to kill beside it. The dead were not buried, their bodies were left in the open on purpose. This was done so the ones still walking would see it and keep moving forward. Parents watched their children fall and were driven on before they could kneel beside them. The old were lost first, the sick were lost next. The very young rarely lasted the full march. The trails to Weeda, to Badagry, to Bonnie, to Lagos, to El Mino were known by the dead along them. At the coast they were forced into holding pens, fence yards the traders called barracoons. At the slave castles they were locked in stone, dungeons cut below the ground, packed in the dark. At El Mina and at Cape Coast they waited there for weeks, until a ship came for them. Their bodies were marked with a hot iron so each buyer would know which
Captives were his.
they were inspected like cargo,
Counted in ledgers,
recorded only as numbers and prices.
then they were brought out from the dark and driven through one final narrow gate. That gate opened onto the water, and the waiting ships, it was called the door of no return.
Most who passed through it never saw their homeland, their village or their families again. The march to the sea had already taken more of them than the names that were ever written down.
Count the miles, count the chains, count the ones who failed. Count the names you were never given. The record still stands.
They did not vanish, they were taken, and the path was marked with their dead. The traders kept careful books. The dead were entered as loss and as cost. But every number was a person who had a village, a language, and a name. The coast was not where the suffering began.